Intrusive, anxious, and automatic negative thoughts are those thoughts that seem to come out of nowhere and are often difficult to turn off. In this video, we're going to identify some techniques to redirect, challenge, and quiet anxious, intrusive, and automatic negative thoughts. Hi, I'm Misty Smith. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I am here to help others find meaning, joy, and purpose in their lives. As a person-centered counselor, I believe in meeting people where they are, and that we all have the capacity for self-healing. Sometimes we need a little guidance and support to get to where we want to be. Does this situation sound familiar to you? You're working on a task, and suddenly the thought pops into your head, I'm worthless. Or you're lying in bed, hoping to drift off to sleep after a long day, and you start to think about all the things that went wrong during your day. Maybe you replay arguments or conversations that happened years ago. Before you know it, you've convinced yourself that you're a terrible person, or that something bad is going to happen. These intrusive thoughts can take many forms. For the most part, they tend to be self-defeating or self-critical and convince you that you're unworthy of love and compassion. The acronym for automatic negative thoughts, ANTS, offers us an opportunity to visualize these for what they are. Ants are a nuisance, and they can cause a serious problem in our homes if we don't address them. These automatic negative thoughts can also disrupt our ability to find joy in our own lives. Let's identify a few strategies that you might find helpful when your thoughts begin to spiral. One technique is to write down a list of coping skills and pleasurable activities to reference when you're having difficulty turning off the anxious and automatic negative thoughts. My list is going to be different than your list, so really think about what has helped in the past whenever you find yourself becoming anxious or overwhelmed, and make a list to keep handy when you need it. Another technique is to keep a journal. You can carry a paper journal with you, or you can keep an electronic journal on your phone. Write down the thoughts as they arise. Once you've identified the negative, anxious, and intrusive thoughts, write down 3 things that challenge each. Here's an example. If the self-defeating thought is, I'm stupid and no one likes me, I'm going to challenge each part of that thought. So the beginning, I'm stupid, this isn't true. I did quite well in school. I have an advanced degree. And I'm pretty good at assessing situations and finding solutions. The second part of the self-defeating thought, no one likes me, that's not true either. People tend to treat me with kindness, which indicates some level of affection. I have some really good friends, and I don't think they would have stuck around all these years if they didn't like me. And I have family who love me and want to spend time with me. Again, I try to remind myself that these are thoughts, they're not facts. The third technique that I'm going to share with you is setting aside worry time. This can help you to learn to compartmentalize the anxious and intrusive thoughts. When I suggest this to my clients, I often get some pushback. I'm asked, how am I supposed to choose when I worry? Here's what it looks like. Try to choose a time each day to set aside to think about the things that are weighing on you. I recommend that you don't choose a time that's too close to your bedtime, because that can make it more difficult for you to rest and unwind, and the worry can maybe stick around a little longer than we want it to. At the end of your worry time, I want you to identify a mindful task in which to engage. Limit the worry time to no more than 15 to 20 minutes. During your scheduled worry time, give yourself permission to let your thoughts roam. Write these down if you find it helpful. You might even do some research if that is something you feel can help you to process the thoughts. And then you're going to set that aside, and I want you to engage in a mindful task. I recommend that the mindful task be in a different room than where you were when you were engaging in the worry time. This helps us to be able to leave those worries behind. The mindful task could be light cleaning, mindful exercise, cooking a meal, or doing something creative. When the anxious, intrusive, and automatic negative thoughts arise outside of your scheduled worry time, notice these without judgment. And remind yourself that now is not the time to think about it. You can think about it during your next scheduled worry time. Remember, none of these techniques are going to be overnight fixes. Try these out and see what works for you. If one or all seem to be helpful, keep practicing, even if you start to notice the intrusive thoughts decreasing. That's progress. The goal is to make progress. If you can start to notice a decrease in the intensity and the frequency of the intrusive, anxious, or automatic negative thoughts, you're moving forward. And no matter how slow it may feel, forward is progress. My hope for you is that you can learn to manage your intrusive, negative, and self-defeating thoughts. And this will enable you to find more opportunities for joy in your life. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to sharing more tips with you soon.